Wants to push the pace for Drake.
Opening tap, that's the battle we're going to be watching all night. McGlynn against Krutwig, right?
Yeah, McGlynn is going to step out and shoot some threes. Krutwig doesn't feel as comfortable on the perimeter. But there they go, right away, first possession.
McGlynn drifting onto the wing. They were down. 7-foot Liam Robbins suffered a concussion in recent weeks. He is out. The three ball unleashed and drained. Brady Ellingson has been on fire since late December.
Yeah, he's shooting over 50% in conference games, and that's just a breakdown defensive assignment. You do not give him any space.
Clayton Custer, the lead. Bruno Skokna feeds Krutwig. The double lies in wait. Just a touch off. Tremel Murphy's got it. Wide open again. And follows his shot. Krutwig comes up limping. Thomas. They had the seal in the mismatch. Tremel Murphy wants the ball, 12 to shoot. Ellingson harassed. Hello. Nice no look, deflected, 4 to shoot. Ellingson, his second three, and we're only 90 seconds in. He's hit as many as 7 in a game, did so against a tough Missouri State team. Just ask Loyola how hard it can be to score against that squad.
Well, Porter Moser told us before the game, guarding the three was going to be a priority after Illinois State made double digits slashes to the basket. Not only Illinois State, but Northern Iowa as well. Shot the three, made double-digit threes. They wanted to keep that number for Drake under 10.
Drake team that is tops in the valley in three-point make, second in percentage. They make about 9 a game. McGlynn muscling Krutwig. Seeds no ground to help from here. Ugwa. Opposite. Three ball. 3 threes at the game start. Shades of the last meeting when Drake surged up by 16 in the first half.
No doubt about it. And Loyola made a dramatic comeback, won that game on the road. But what an excellent pass by McGlynn there. Feeling the double team, cross-court execution has been flawless so far for the Bulldogs.
And the fouls, we've seen some physical collisions in the screen game.
You see the double team here. McGlynn has such a great feel for it. He skips it across, and Thomas has been a difference maker. He had 24 points earlier in the season against Southern Illinois. And he's really starting to come into his own. And then Ellingson, that is what he does. Over half his made field goals this year have been threes.
Cooper Kafis has subbed in and fouled DJ Wilkins. Krutwig passes so well. Three ball. Splash it down to Marcus Towns.
Did he just watch the McGlynn video? Because that's exactly what happened on the other end. Both these big guys have such a great feel for the game.
Drake has a sub jog to the table. Garrett Sturts, the walk-on. Nice speed in rhythm, and Krutwig denies and got bashed. He collapses to the ground. They're down a man. Krutwig clutching at his eye. That was a hard shot. Now, he's a physical, imposing player, but he has taken a couple of big whacks in the early stage of this game, had been stumbled by the ankle in the early possession.
Let's see this one more time. The 6'9" sophomore from Algonquin is one of those guys that likes the physicality. Let's check it out. I think he caught a hand to the nose. Oh,
ooh.
Yeah, that's more like an elbow to the nose.
And our officials are now reviewing video. What do you see here? Now, he comes down hard. He's, I think, making a play on the ball, but that's not necessarily relevant there, right?
Because the ball was out of his hands, you mean?
Right.
Yeah, understood. Krutwig, in my eyes, the leading candidate for Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. Great job by our staff getting the replay there. Clearly an elbow to the face.
Number 3, DJ Wilkins.
Krutwig, an incredibly tough young man, but take that kind of contact And it will be ruled a common foul, and there's the remnants, or excuse me, there will be no foul on the plate. What do you think?
What I think is, as we sit inside of Loyola's beautiful new arena, as Krutwig is bloodied and battered, he'll be back in this game knowing him. You just wonder if Sister Jean, who's perched under the basket, kind of comes by and rubs his chest a little bit and says, "You're going to feel a little bit better soon." She looks on with concern. She's got that sort of power in her, doesn't she, John?
Well, she said that she would be blessing the shooting hands of players tonight. And perhaps a healing factor can be there for Krutwig as well. Let's take one more look.
Watch the right arm come down, right? Oh, boy.
So Tremel Murphy got a piece of Krutwig. This game has had some physical flavor in the early stage. We've seen players on both sides tumbling in screen contact off ball. These are two of the top 3 teams in the Valley. The jacket is still on for Porter Moser. Krutwig, though, getting some assistance here as he walks off the floor. This comes at the 16:58 mark. Krutwig going to the locker room.
Well, we've
Or
seen
at the trainer's table, it appears.
a lot of players play with the mask, right? Rip Hamilton was most famous for it. In Detroit, he played with it even after he didn't need it. They're just testing to see how he's responding. Sort of like concussion protocol, right, John?
He would certainly believe, and that means Franklin Agunani subs in, who has seen some more time of late. 6'9", 245. Only plays less than 7 minutes a game. And the 3-ball, Noah Thomas. So how does this change the game? What's the import in these moments on each side?
Yeah, well, Lucas Williamson, who we've yet to talk about, he's out with a hand injury. Cameron Krutwig's down, so you got 2 of your big 4 for Loyola out. You're going to expect Towns and Custer, as Towns misses that jump shot, to really have to lead this squad. In the first matchup, these guys were sensational.
There's Tremel Murphy, the reverse not there. The subbed in, Agunani comes up with it. Aggressive end-line drive, Custer. Off target, Ublak, fouled. Hit by Noah Thomas, that'll be his first. Loyola will make a sub. Bring in the shooter Bruno Skopna. With Uguak going to the line. It's something that Porter Moser spoke to us about earlier tonight. The need for Uguak to find his way to the free throw line, to follow loose basketballs like that.
I thought it was more important on that play, though, that Clayton Custer was aggressive going to the rim, had a point-blank shot, and really just airmailed it. And over his last 5 games, he has certainly struggled, Custer was. He opened up the Illinois State game 0 of 10, and Porter Moser told us before the game he took him out and just told him, you got to keep shooting. Your legacy is already cemented here as one of the great players in the history of this program. Go out there and have fun.
McGlynn is subbed out. A couple of seconds. Dead ball means immediate. They can maximize some of his real-time rest. Krutwig now back on the Loyola bench. You can see him seated about free throw line extended. Great 4 of 5 from outside. Thomas doubled. Oh, nice look. Drop step, the fake, and the banker off. Point blank for Sturts. Here come the Ramblers. Different defense here.
Looks like man, but they're going to sag it in. They're begging Loyola to make some jump shots.
Uguak gets closer, gets tripped up, gets fouled. You believe that Cameron Krutwig is the player of the year in the league, then trucked North Carolina in the 3rd place game.
What an amazing story. You know, we talked about in the open, Drake this year was picked towards the bottom of the valley, and so far, right in the hunt towards the top. As this is as balanced as conference as you could get in all of college basketball.
Good block at the line. We did get word that Cameron Krutwig has been cleared and can come back into the game. He's not in yet. Could that be because McGlynn is still on the bench for Drake? They go small. That means they can shoot. That one off. Good block. The trail three. Cooper Kafis, second in the Valley, 46% from outside. This game was all Drake at the start. Thomas saw the seam, aggressive drive.
Noah Thomas can be a really nice player in this league. He's already buried a couple of threes. You get the defense committing on you. Excellent drive to the offhand.
Porter Moser going bananas. Christian Negron getting some rare minutes. He wears 12, circling on the far side of the paint. Ublak, the aggressive drive. Foul on the floor.
Good call by the officials there. Guac extended the arm on the flip side. The Aussie went to the offhand. Only a sophomore. That is a special talent as the big fella, the sophomore from Algonquin, Illinois, Cameron Krutwig, checks back in the game.
And as soon as he comes back, the reciprocal move is made. Nick McGlynn, with Drake thin in terms of true bigs, back on the floor.
That's going to be the matchup. It's going to be McGlynn in blue and Krutwig. They are going to be featured early and often.
And Krutwig makes an immediate play. Out of bounds off Loyola. No possession exchange, so 20 to shoot. Here's Darren DeVries, who applied for the Drake head coaching job 3 times before he was finally chosen as the mentor of the Bulldogs, and they have exceeded all expectations. Ugly pass by McGlynn. Tumbles, coughs it up. Custer. Aggressive yell. Objection, a foul. Athletic move there by Anthony Murphy. But the whistle.
From where we were sitting, John, the block looked clean. But when you're the reigning Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year, you're going to get some calls sometimes. Is this a foul?
Look up at the very top. The follow through on the hand. I'm with you. When I saw it live, I did not think so. But looking at the replay, I think he did get that wrist at the apex.
I'm a baseball fan, right? I mean, Mike Trout has a different strike zone than someone who bats 8th in order. So this is the Mike Trout of the Missouri Valley. He benefited from that call. The 5th-year senior did. Gets 2 free throws, and you wonder if that kind of kickstarts his game.
He's been in a rut in the last 5, double digits only once in that span. They're shooting in the 20% range from the field and from outside.
McGlynn's got to be aggressive trying to score the basketball.
Saw that double, dribbled out. Nice look opposite Thomas. He is off to a sensational start. Noah Thomas.
It really was the pass that set up the shot. McGlynn has been devastating early on with his vision, seeing that double team, accepting it, and then making the right basketball play.
Thomas has 11. He's nearly matched Loyola by himself. Not a great pass raised by Drake out of bounds. Good idea. Krutwig is so good at creating space, creating a shot for himself and others.
Well, that's because of his body, right? He's built that way, that carves out space.
Upon entry, Custer shades of the winner against Tennessee that propelled them to the Sweet 16 last year. Turnover. Towns wants it. What a screen by Krutwig. Now saying, give me the ball, re-screen. McGlynn on the switch, opposite. Skokna. Scoopers. That's a creative shot.
Well, Skokna's from Croatia. And how do you cheers in Croatia? Živeli. Great scoop for Skokna the junior.
How do you know that?
Full disclosure, I went on my honeymoon there. And on your honeymoon, you know what you do often? You cheers often. And I really hope that is the translation. Well, this will be my last broadcast for CBS Sports Network.
Skokna off target, tap controlled by Drake. Bulldogs' last 11 points have come from Thomas, who is now on the bench.
If I'm Drake, I'm getting McGlynn a touch. And no double this time, just him and Krutwig.
That was altered by Krutwig's size. Look at that effort, the one-handed shovel on the ground. Seven unanswered in barely more than a minute. Good idea, but the cut just a little deep, out of bounds off Loyola. And each of those assistants had a scout. It's normally divvied up. Then one assistant would scout a specific opponent. That's how these two stabs handle it. That's how most stabs handle it. Each team 4 dimes on 6 made buckets. Drake has done it from deep. 5 to shoot. 1 to shoot. He doesn't realize it. Shot clock violation. Tramel Murphy. How does that happen out of a timeout like that?
Well, it ended up in the hands of someone who normally doesn't have the ball at the end of a shot clock. And that's not Murphy's fault. He's not in that position often where he's going to go out there and make a play at the end of the shot clock.
That's 3 turnovers early for the Bulldogs. Krutwig took a shot to the nose in the early stage of the game. Exuding toughness on nice cut. Instead, the corner 3, Skokna a little short. Back in the game, Thomas, who can fly. Tramel Murphy, aggressive take, changes hands and one.
Well, what was the scouting report, John?
Transition.
No doubt. And you see Noah Thomas is a blur. Hair flying in the wing. He's able to get it out to Thomas. He's able to finish. And that was Loyola's #1 concern when Drake pushes pace. They are devastating. They had 16 points via the fast break in their latest game, a 68-62 win over Indiana State.
This one, they began up 7. It's been a back-and-forth tussle, though. And it feels like the pivot point came with the return of Krutwig.
No doubt about it. If you're Porter Moser, your star player gets hurt, you weather that storm. And you got to think the pace of this game, John, favors Loyola.
Aggressive muscle, no double comes, so he can show off his moves just off there. And McGlynn flying down the floor for a big fella. Thomas, what shake and handle. McGlynn just off, Towns the board. Loyola 10-3 at home this year, winners of 7 straight in this building. Nice screen by Krutwig, Towns against McGlynn, just off, and Anthony Murphy's got it. To his twin brother, Tramel. Double comes. McGlynn hesitant. Gives a little forearm. Fall away miss. Rebound Krutwig. Snaps the pass. Shaping up. Nice up fake. A stride. 3-ball off for Kapis. And then a foul in pursuit of the loose ball. Tonight, 11 Eastern, CBS Sports Network is in the studio with our team of college basketball experts. They'll break down all you need to know on the hardwood from around the nation. Don't miss Inside College Basketball on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Krutwig wincing there, Tim.
Well, he's certainly in some pain, but it looks like when McGlynn goes out, that's when Krutwick goes out. That's going to be the chess match between Drake and Loyola.
That last foul to McGlynn. Part of the reason, perhaps, that he hits the pine there. Jump give. Towns wanted it. Towns fouled. He has found some space there along the end line.
He's a transfer from FDU, and he has been such a valuable member of Porter Moser's squad, a team that made a run last year to the Final Four. And I think there's been more pressure that Towns and Custer have put on themselves to recapture what last year has been. And talking to Porter Moser, he told me a great story before the season started. Loyola scrimmaged Indiana University down there in Bloomington against Archie Miller's squad. And Archie told Porter after the scrimmage, he said, our guys were gearing up for this. They look forward to this. Why? Because Loyola went to the Final Four last year. And Porter says that's been an adjustment for this squad, that they have the bullseye every single game because of that magical run they had last year.
And when Indiana's geared up to face Loyola, you've arrived. And Drake is pumped up to face this Loyola team. DJ Wilkins. It is raining threes. Drake with 6 makes from outside. They make 9 a game, Tim. It's already 6 just past the midway point of the first half. And a foul, creating space off ball.
Check out the ball movement here by the Drake Bulldogs. And Thomas makes something happen. Great extra pass, and then Wilkins, who's second on the team in threes made, shooting over 40% from 3, steps in. But John, I'll say this on the flip side, if you're Loyola, you kind of withstood this run. I don't want to say it's fool's gold, but is Drake going to keep shooting like this for the next 28 plus minutes of the game? That's probably highly unlikely.
Particularly on the road. Arms up from several Loyola defenders here. McGlynn on the bench for Drake. Jamel Murphy wants it in the post. Instead, the 3-ball unleashed. An ugly miss. Antonio Pilipovic. He plays with 2 fouls. Towns crossing over.
I was looking to get Clayton Custer the ball here, try to get him going. He's got a couple baskets early.
There he is, and he draws a foul on Wilkins. That'll be his second, and bonus time has arrived.
Clayton Custer was last year's Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. And you know every guy who's guarding him in the scouting report goes to sleep, and the last thing they think about is Clayton Custer and how they're going to shut him down. And over the last 5 games, he certainly has struggled. Only 30 points. But a key moment in this game was when he got his shot blocked. It was a clean block. Referee called a foul. Went to the line. And then he got a roll on a 3. And as a player, when you get a break like that, all of a sudden you go, all right, maybe the basketball gods are on my side. And so far, he's gotten off to a really nice start for Loyola.
Well, the best game in his career by points was the first matchup this year against Drake. He had 26 in that spirited comeback from down 16 to fairly convincing victory. Extended pressure here? Are they more concerned about the shooters?
Where's the size? Your tallest guy in Drake right now is 6'4". This is like a high school game. The size out on the basketball court.
Murphy's trying to close. Sturt slices with one on the timer off, and Towns has it.
Now, if I'm a driver, I'm looking to get to the rim because there's no one there to block shots.
There's the drive. The finish for Custer.
That's just a crafty 50-year senior recognizing the personnel. He got a break from the referees, and surely, John, he's taking advantage of it.
Sturts. Tramel Murphy, Stokner defends. Murphy traveled. Been inconsistent in that starting point guard role. Meanwhile, Towns had the best day of his career, points-wise. Last matchup with Drake. McGlynn is back. Krutwick as well. Krutwick. Jamel Murphy slides over. Oh, what a finish. aggressive move. Ugwat tries to playground it off Thomas, and he does. Did the help come too late?
Well, I thought that was great patience by Krutwig because he wants to get to the other shoulder. He wants to get to the left hand. You know that, I know that, all the defenders know that, everyone in this arena knows that. So he did a great job of countering it and getting to his offhand. That's why he was so open.
And that's something that you were on with him a left feet down there. Towns puts it home to develop the other side a little bit more, to make defenses more honest.
You just have to do it once in a while. Tell him right now, he's the best player in the Valley. He means the most to any team because he can rebound, he can pass, and he can score down low.
He has made one basket in this game, and he's been critical. 3 dimes, physical presence, denying McGlynn here. Thomas, his first miss of the night. Out of bounds off Loyola, 9 to shoot. We'll charge a foul here to Custer on the shove. That'll be his first. So move the timer to 20. 8 unanswered points for Loyola. How does Drake find the balance you're asking for?
I think you have to go through McGlynn. You know, he's been a great decision maker. You got to wonder if Loyola's going to keep double teaming him. I just keep getting him touches.
Anthony Murphy wanted it. So Thomas went no man's land and gave it away. Towns, aggressive block. Krutwig drop step strong, and Anthony Murphy slaps it away. Drake returned only 2 letter winners, had 3 scholarship players at the start of the year, and found a heck of a haul from the junior college ranks that changed the whole nature of their team and gave them a shot in this conference. Murphy twins a big part of it. Krutwig against McGlynn, he got a piece of that.
Great defense there by McGlynn. And he runs the floor so well. Feed the big guy.
Doubled. Loses it out of bounds off Krutwig.
See, this is where Krutwig, we saw him go to the right hand last time. We're going to go back to the fast break. Great challenge. Oh, boy. Oh, the guys are attacking, flying in from behind. See Anthony Murphy there with the block. This is a Drake team that's out there trying to prove themselves. Those naysayers talked about the junior college guys that were kind of counted out. Nobody wanted them. And they've come to Drake, and they've had some adversity this year. They've really injected a lot of life in this squad.
Well, not only talent, but the Murphy twins at 6'5", 6'6", long wingspans, incredibly athletic. Trammell, the more known commodity, turnover here. Sturts couldn't handle. He was on the radar. Chose Drake over Oregon, Xavier, San Diego State. In large part because Darren DeVries got tipped off some by Dana Altman, his former mentor at Creighton, who was flirting with Trammell. And the head man, Marty Richter, at their junior college in Florida, an acquaintance from camp days at Creighton. They grew up from each other, did the coaches. Towns, in rhythm. He could see it going down before the ball was in his hands.
Now if you're Drake, you're no longer making perimeter shots. The big man's on the bench. Now you got to get something going to the basket. They've settled too much after that fool's gold earlier, making all those threes.
The jab steps. Murphy felt that double. Filipovic off rim and glass. 11 unanswered for Loyola. Only 3 points for Drake in nearly 7 minutes. Opposite. Just off the shield, the foul in pursuit of the loose ball. Look at Agunani.
He talked about stepping into your shot. Towns, the fifth-year senior, certainly did that as Loyola has responded with Cameron Krutwig coming back in the game. Clayton Custer, Marcus Towns had huge performances in the first matchup against Drake. Towns in that game had 28 points in that win.
A little late, Filipovic. That's happened a few times, right? It seems like Trammell Murphy's done a great job of creating mismatches with guards in the post, and they're not quite seeing him in time. Filipovic being put in a tough spot. A sophomore who's more of a pure shooter, doesn't play a whole lot, thrust into a bigger role here.
No Liam Robbins in this game. He's out with a concussion. The 7-foot freshman has played valuable minutes for Drake.
And DJ Wilkins with 2 fouls. He hasn't been much of a factor for a while.
If I'm Clayton Custer, I'm looking to make a move right here on Sturts.
Custer deflected, tracked down, 8 to shoot. Porter Moser screams, shot clock. Deep 3. How does Porter Moser stay that calm when Kafis hits a shot like that?
Well, he's got 35 points, and I'm in the arena. The last time I was in the arena, John Sadak, he scored 35 points. Loyola did the entire game against Missouri State.
Jamel Murphy, the open 3, drains it, and snaps a 14-0 run. Could the game snap the Doyle Jinx?
I'll say it, I'm not sure Porter Moser will. I was barred from shooting around today. He said if they don't score 50 in this game, this will be the last game I call that Loyola plays in.
Only half of that is kind of true. His free throw line jumper. Loyola's on fire. That dead ball means the media, but it feels like the avalanche has overcome Drake. Sturts telegraphed that pass. Towns. He knew the shot blockers were there. Little sizzle, and now the Drake timeout. You got him. Right. Told the young fans, the students, cheer loudly so you'll be warm when you leave with an ice storm hitting Chicago. Drake has gone cold. As many turnovers as made buckets, 9 points off turnovers, 16-0 in favor of Loyola.
Yeah, Drake just hasn't come up with something other than shooting perimeter jump shots. As you see, Darren DeVries there, who's done an outstanding job in year number 1. Long-time Creighton assistant. What he has brought from Greg McDermott's squad is he wants to play fast.
Ugly miss by Wilkins. McGlynn wins it. Aggressive moves. Wilkins tip, whistle, push, and a foul. We'll get Marcus Towns with his first. Towns, by the way, has had 9 of Loyola's last 11 points. He's been spearheading this latest surge.
18 points in the first half. He's been the difference.
Thomas catch, shoot, knocks it home. And we'll get a timeout here from Loyola. They call the use it or lose it. Thomas triple, draws it back to 10.
See all the threes made in this game. Great to see Brent Stover back in the studio there and playing his guitar on a stage. That guy's been all over the place lately. Country music star.
He's also a Twitter star. He's joined the Twitterverse. Back in this universe. We'll get the push foul here.
And Towns has not done much wrong in this first half. And when we talked to Porter Moser, I kind of pointed out how this has been an ebbs and flows season with the injuries and stuff. They've had a tough time, Loyola, really finding that rhythm. And then they find that rhythm, and then Lucas Williamson gets hurt. And then Custer's not playing well. And there's been a lot of storylines here. They're hoping to have Williamson back, get a few games under his belt before the Missouri Valley Conference season. But if he doesn't come back, I'm not sure Loyola is the favorite to win this league. I think it's Illinois State.
Let's pick down Loyola. Malik Yarbrough went nuts in the first half. Here's his sub. The walk-on Garrett Sturts is back. DJ Wilkins out of that Drake timeout. They put him back in with 2 fouls. He just picked up his 3rd, and these are the last of the 1-and-1 free throws. And now they're going to go to the monitor. Is this about the foul? I think there's been a request from Drake that Wilkins shouldn't have been charged with his 3rd, that it should have been on another player. Darren DeVries was beckoning over one of the officials immediately, and Wilkins had his hands up in the air, seem to be saying it wasn't me.
Here's Wilkins right there.
So they are changing it. It goes on number 2, Tremel Murphy, not on Wilkins. So Wilkins with 2 fouls will come back in, and Sturts goes out. So that's Tremel Murphy's first foul. How does this change things with Wilkins staying in the game with 2?
Well, he's such a valuable offensive player. Definitely can stretch the floor. I think for Drake is going to be, they're going to have to get something going north and south. We saw Thomas before with he's got the basketball now. He's able to get to the lane. I need this front to go north and south. There we go.
Murphy miss, tipped by Crutwig. Here comes Loyola. Down shovels to Ugwa. Crutwig wants it. He's got Tremel Murphy here. Custer slipping on Thomas. Extra hit. Towns. That same spot. The first to 20 in the game. That's a 22-6 run. Last time these teams met, Drake was up 16 early. And Loyola ended the first half on a 32-10 run. McGlynn buries a 3.
Drake has made 10 field goals in this game, John Sadat. 8 of them have been threes.
It's 1 off their per-game average that's tops in the league. Towns wants the ball. Aggressive cutting. Crutwig slips. Line give. Custer. What a save! Towns to Ugwak. Right to the rim. Tremendous body control. What the heck can Drake do? They've already called 2 timeouts. They're already playing a man with 2 fouls. McGlynn falling away. Points scored by a player in a Missouri Valley Conference game this year, 34. He's got a stern challenge at that, and also at his career high of 28 that came against Drake earlier this season. Will that momentum still be there? Momentum that was stymied when Cameron Crutwig got bashed in the nose and sent out for a few minutes at the game start. He has come back in a big way. Crutwig with only 1 made basket, but 3 assists, and so physical against Nick McGlynn.
Well, that's why no double team. What we showed you at halftime, when there's a double, he makes the right decision, and now that he's going to that right hand, oh boy, he is going to be unstoppable in the Valley.
Wilkins, 3 fouls from the first. Thomas just off good, box by Towns. What a feed ahead. Skokman. Towns with a very calm confidence about himself.
If you're Drake, you made 9 3-pointers in the first half, and you were down 16.
Crutwig is making jumpers like that. It could get tough. He had his first career 3 in Loyola's most recent win against Northern Iowa. His head coach, Porter Moser, said after the game, I always tell the team there are a million ways you can win. Tonight, we discovered 1,000,001. A Crutwig 3 is he had the last 6 points. And they roared back late to top the Panthers.
And he thought about shooting that one there, John. Straight on from the top.
Instead, it's Custer off the Crutwig screen, a little short. For Drake with McGlynn nullified, does that put more pressure on the Murphy twins to facilitate, to finish?
To be more aggressive, get to the basket, no doubt about it.
There goes Tremel. McGlynn, the hesitant 3. Just off. 3-point shots are still there. It's super high volume.
McGlynn's only shooting 22% from 3, but that's going to be an advantage for him because Crutwig doesn't feel comfortable coming out on the perimeter, so he's got to keep shooting that ball.
Crutwig trying to alley-oop, a little off with Ugwa. Won by Ellingson, a deadly shooter. Who had 2 threes in the early stage of this game has gone quiet. This will be Drake Ball.
That's the guy right there as Darren DeVries looks on, trying to figure out with his jacket off, maybe that brings the team some defensive prowess. On the flip side, Porter Moses got to be thrilled with his offensive execution. I would say every time down, get Crutwig a touch. Run your offense through.
Makes for Towns. Gets hit. Not going to be Wilkins there. So Wilkins with 3. Remember, he was whistled for his third in the first. They requested a review and then changed it to a Tramel Murphy foul, allowing him to finish the half with 2 fouls.
John, how do you like this comparison, okay? Cameron Krutwig, Marc Gasol.
Ooh. The feel in the pass game, taller post, very varied, could be bruisingly physical. Yeah, I can see that.
Not overwhelmingly athletic. So the difference is, what, 4 inches probably? And that's what makes NBA All-Stars. But Krutwig's going to be the best player in this league for the next 3 years.
He was at 300 pounds when he arrived. Last year, the goal was shed pounds. This year, it was about body fat, being leaner, the percentage of fat. And making sure that they give him rest and also work him during the course of the year. What an aggressive, beautiful take by Tramel Murphy, skipping through for the bucket.
Murphy last game was all over the floor, had 6 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists against Indiana State. He was showing off his athleticism at times in this game.
Top 20 JUCO recruit via the transfer route. McGlynn altered that and wins it. And McGlynn has had 5 double-doubles in league play. He's getting talked for player of the year. He's been largely shut down in this game. Ellingson, that's what he does.
He buried 2 in the first half, and for the best shooter in the Missouri Valley, shooting over 54% in conference games. You do not want to give him any space. John, he went through a stretch of 2 games against Missouri State and Bradley where he was 12 of 17 from 3.
7 of 8 in that Missouri State game for 25 points. We will step it. Make sure he's coiffed.
Yeah. Hey, not all of us are blessed with the best pipes in the business, all right? We all got here for different reasons.
Krutwig gets the ball down low. Just rolls out. This crowd has sprung back to life with a gaudy advantage. This crowd has been reinvigorated. Tramel Murphy held en route.
Just kind of a fun conversation to have. You talked about McGlynn being in the conversation for Conference Player of the Year. I can't think a game like this helps him too much when he's been outplayed by Krutwig. You know, the numbers have been great for the senior from Wisconsin.
Another turnover. Towns. Points off turnovers, 18-0 in favor of Loyola, but I'm with you. I think these head-to-head games should carry more weight. Are all of the voters watching these head-to-head matchups? 3-ball off here.
I think Malik Yarborough needs to be in the conversation. He talked about his outstanding performance where he was just all over the floor against Loyola. I think those 3 guys deservingly so, but I think Krutwig's the best player in the league.
He had 17 in the first half in the win over Loyola. They've got Valpo tonight, another surprising upstart. And it's 7 years the league has adjusted well after struggling in the first. Great swat there by McGlynn. Triple D time. Take us to the deep end.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Grant Williams play, he's going to be on the floor later tonight against Missouri. Tennessee only has 1 loss, and he's been so consistent. How about the Pac-12? Washington's undefeated. As for everybody else, oh boy. And on the flip side, Purdue was just all Carson Edwards. Now a more balanced offense. They're the hottest team in the Big Ten when you look at Michigan State has stubbed its toe recently. Michigan has had some trouble on the road, but the Boilermakers and Matt Painter, oh so consistent in playing their best basketball of the season as we head into February.
That foul to Wilkins is 4th. He's out. Sturtz back in. Now also found it interesting on the Big Ten angle. You and I were talking at the Drake shoot-around today, and Towns has been shooting something fierce. 26, just a bucket off his career high. You played not all that far away. Just go up the lake a bit, Evanston and Northwestern. We talked about the notion of city teams in Chicago playing each other, what it would have meant, what it would mean now for Northwestern to play Loyola, for all the city teams, like what Philadelphia does, like what the state of Connecticut does, to have the city powers play the city powers.
I think it's a must, and it's a missed opportunity. And the reality is Northwestern doesn't want to play Loyola. And when I was at Northwestern, we played UIC back-to-back years, and Sturts is wide open into the basket. We lost to UIC in back-to-back years. You know who Northwestern doesn't play anymore? UIC. But there are so many non-conference games that are, let's just say it, boring, that if you're able to kind of ignite the city, bring them to Paul, maybe Illinois comes up here. Now, I think Philadelphia, I'm jealous of that rivalry amongst the Big Five.
Lester follows, kicks. Each team has fallen asleep at the wheel here in the last couple of possessions. Cephas nearly lost the pass. It seems like Loyola's stealing some rest for a few of the stars. Towns, aggressive take to the rim. Time now for the player profile, brought to you by State Farm. DJ Wilkins has 4 fouls currently on the bench for Drake, and he was under the radar, and in large part sidelined him in his JUCO year at Florida Southwestern State. So it was at an open practice when Coach DeVries saw him basically working on his own skill development. He was there to see the Murphy twins, and he asked Marty Richter, his friend, the head coach there, who he's since brought on as an assistant, what about DJ Wilkins? And Richter said, well, I don't really know. He sat all last year. He had a medical issue. Because of that, nobody knew what he was. He's a darn good player.
He struggled over the last 2 games, only 13 points. Before that, very consistent. He had 16 in the first matchup against Loyola. He buried a 3 today, but he's had a tough time finding a rhythm with that foul trouble that we talked about, John.
Drake finds himself getting blown out. Thomas, good cut, extra give. 3-ball for Ellingson. He has been remarkably consistent. He's in double digits now with a dozen. Drake 11 makes from deep, but has struggled inside the arc. Only 5 makes and 16 field goals in 2-point range.
It's a big possession here for Drake. They're going to make a run. No Krutwick out there. Chance to cut this to 13, maybe even 12.
Ellingson wanted it on the cut. That's where it feels like Drake's been a smidge off. They've had windows that they just don't strike the pass in time. Shot clock eroding. Sturts misses point blank Loyola ball.
Sturts has missed 3 layups in this game. And that is tough to overcome on the road when you're underdog.
Towns pocket pick, McGlynn funnels. Running a little too fast for the ball. Ellingson to stride right. He is pure from outside, and Porter Moser can't believe those caliber of looks are. Porter Moser has lost the jacket. He got known for that a bit during Loyola's run last year. Deep look, Ellingson! He's got a dozen from deep in the last 3+ minutes of game time. 4 threes in that spurt, a 13-2 run. It's to single digits. Loyola led by as many as 22. Krutwick doesn't see anyone, so he makes something happen himself. Uguak follows. He had the best rebounding day of his career in the loss to Illinois State last time out. He can be a difference maker with his athleticism. Has hesitation to find Anthony Murphy, and he still finishes.
That's what Drake was not doing in the first half. He was trying to attack the basket either off the dribble or via the pass. Much better in the second half, mixing it up.
These are the top two shooting teams by field goal percentage in the Valley entering the game. Nice anticipation by Thomas, still won by Custer. Extra pass up the lane. Rupert misses, Buckridge follows. And Loyola does a great job of getting back. There's no chance for Drake, especially on a make, to surge it down the floor as they love to do.
Well, their coaching staff told us that they want to send 4 guys back, but really Krutwick as the only offensive rebounder for the Ramblers.
Off Kafis, McGlynn, there's the three you wanted. Pops out. Good shot still.
I think great shot.
Kafis, that's nothing. He hit from 3 quarters. To halftime. Thomas holding that pivot. Nobody's coming to him. Sturts finally finds it. McGlynn. Thomas saying, give me the ball. Hesitation. Now Thomas. It almost feels like an early in-season game in moments for Drake. Is that still the reverb of not having Norton out there?
No doubt about it. Nick Norton played a lot of minutes before getting hurt.
What a lead. Krutwick. How do you lose a guy that big?
Have you seen how he's changed the offense completely? And it's not just scoring baskets, it's the attention he deserves, the passing.
He is a sharpshooter, top 10 of the country in field goal percentage. See what I did there? McGlynn, double. Trying to fight through it, drop step. And the foul. McGlynn has had to earn everything.
And that last possession, I mean, Loyola put him in the camel clutch, and he was able to get out of it, able to get to the free throw line.
McGlynn at the stripe. Porter Moser beckons over Kelly Self. McGlynn makes just 1 of 8 from the field in this game as Nick McGlynn, who entered top 5 in the league in scoring, leading the league in rebounding. And the young man who's kind of the poster child for the flux that Drake's been under in recent years. He's had 4 head coaches in his 4 seasons. The program in truth, including an Israel talk, had 4 head coaches in about a year and a half. Nico Medved left rather abruptly shortly after last season's 17-win campaign. And McGlynn just flared his towel and squirted a water bottle. He is enraged, subbed out, frustrated with his play.
Talked to him before the game, McGlynn. He said his favorite player growing up was Yao Ming.
Buster cut some scores. Yao Ming, how did that come in? Tip by Kafis. Buster wants it, gets fed. The rhythm 3. It almost feels like Drake needs to call its last time out. I don't know if it would work, but I don't know that anything else is working. Why save it at this point? Jamal Murphy. Foul.
2 guys that have played each other to USA this year, where anybody can beat anybody on any given night.
And that's something Porter Moser shared with us earlier today. McGlynn back in for Drake. Very emotional, fiery young man, showed that on the bench while we were away. Porter Moser spoke about how you look at the bottom 2 teams in the league. Each had 20-point leads on the top 2 teams in the league, his Loyola team and Illinois State, a team that just beat Loyola last time.
So this is going to be a wacky March Madness, but I still think maybe not so much the favorite, but the safe bet is Loyola. But if you're down in Bloomington Normal area, I think Illinois State, Malik Yarborough, Phil Fain, devastating lefty. They got a very talented group there.
Yarborough commanded the matchup, and Loyola fell last time out. Krutwig wants the ball. Isolated for now with McGlynn. What a look to Kafis. 4 to shoot. Towns off a Krutwig screen. 2 to shoot. Towns off iron. Ukwak saves it. Loyola ball. Ramblers looking for their 13th straight home win in a conference game. Would be the longest run since they began conference play 40 years ago. Custer. McGlynn slaps it away. Krutwig rips it free, puts it home. Tonight's a statement game for Krutwig head-to-head with McGlynn, right?
No doubt about it. McGlynn's been great this year, but Krutwig at home, Loyola looking to bounce back.
Jamel Murphy, the subtlety of that shoulder dip to get past Custer. He's got amazing body control.
The offense has been better, more balanced for Drake in the second half, but where's the defense been? With Krutwig on the floor, he was just dictating this entire offense.
Custer, what a look to Towns. He's a career high.
And we saw Towns to Custer before, and then the two fifth-year seniors that are out there both receiving their MBAs and bring chemistry on the floor.
Anthony Murphy off, Krutwig has it. It has been very feast or famine with Loyola. Why the inconsistency? When they're good, they're great. In their wins, they shoot like crazy and score a ton. When they lose, it's horrific.
I think because they're predictable on offense. You know who's going to be the guys, right? It's going to be Towns.
Maybe Kafis off there.
I think that's been the difference in this game. You know, Kafis has gone out there, banged down some threes. Ukwak is a good game.
Rejection by Krutwig, but the guile to stay with it for Anthony Murphy.
So when all three of Custer, Towns, and Krutwig do not play well, well then they struggle on offense. And that's what a guy like Lucas Williamson, he brings that balance for Loyola. They don't become so predictable on offense.
And to that end, Loyola, the least bench scoring in the Valley. And part of that, nice move by Krutwig. Second fewest bench minutes in the Valley. They lean on their best. Wilkins, who's been out of rhythm for Drake, marred by foul trouble. Jamel Murphy, foul on Kafis. So here's the Jekyll and Hyde against Missouri State in Evansville. 18% from outside, a .39 assist to turnover ratio. Scored less than 42 points a game. In the other contests in league play, outstanding.
Yeah, Porter Moser likes to call it the domino effect. He goes, when we're knocking down the dominoes, meaning when one guy is making the next pass to the next guy, to the next guy, and then that last guy is open, he goes, that's what we were doing last year in the tournament every single game. Finding consistency in that this year has really been up and down. Ukwak's a guy who's got a world of potential, but I still think he's finding his way. Because Porter told us, like, we didn't run any plays for him. He's just got to find it via offensive rebounds, running the floor. And I think with Williamson being out, guys' roles have changed throughout the year. Where last year they were so good in the tournament because you knew every single guy, whether it was Ingram or Richardson or Custer, you know what they were going to give you every game.
Anthony Murphy beat Custer off the bounce there. And Williamson, by the way, surgery 8 days ago. The timeline says best case scenario, should be cleared to resume activity on the 18th of February. It could be as late as with 2 games to go in the regular season run if it holds to the initial estimation of doctors, which means there would be a window to get some cadence before the conference tournament for a great shooter. Krutwig pulling off his moves. That's some sizzle. He's got 18 and 15 of them in the second half. Cradle the baby.
Look at the footwork there.
Defending against McGlynn, not a comfortable spot. He hasn't operated in the true post for wild chunks of this game.
When he comes high, then Krutwig drops, and now they can't run their offense because Krutwig is clogging everything up in the middle.
Jamel Murphy banks it home.
If I was Nick McGlynn, I would go into the gym tomorrow when you get back home and just shoot hundreds of threes straight on. You've got to be a threat from up there if you want to run that high post offense through your center. 0 of 3 tonight. Check that 1 of 4 from 3 in this game.
Towns, 32 points. Ellingson feeds McGlynn. Misses inside. Krutwig denied, but fouled it. Cameron Krutwig getting it done, Tim. Where the difficulty could lie, right? That Loyola was expected to do so much from last year. They have so many stars that might split votes. Does that by default then lean to, even though he has very talented teammates in his own right, a guy like Malik Yarbrough, particularly with a head-to-head win already under their belts against Loyola?
Well, you see awards go to, right, guys on teams that win, no matter what conference, what league it is, no matter what sport it is. But in college sports specifically, normally the older guys get a little bit of an advantage.
Krutwig's a sophomore and he plays like a senior. And while the numbers are there, the talent robust for Towns, Krutwig, you feel, is more critical.
I just think he does so many things on the court. He changes the complete complexion of your team.
Sturge 3-ball off. There's another board for Krutwig.
If you watched the Northern Iowa game, that's one of the few times I've watched, and Zion Williamson has taken over games and just won them by himself. But Krutwig just got his whole
performance by the core. The crowd just came to its feet. Porter Moser called a timeout just to roll in subs. Each team going deep into the depths of its bench.
Getting back to that Player of the Year conversation, you know, Custer's had an off season after last year winning the award.
Fouled in the act of the three, the subbed in Jake Boffman, the walk-on.
The last Missouri Valley Conference back-to-back Player of the Year, John Sadak, Doug McDermott, Creighton. Who was an assistant coach there? That guy right there, Darren DeVries.
The foul to Wilkins is 5th. He's done. You know, almost 20 years spent at Creighton for DeVries. Under Doug's dad, Greg McDermott, under Dana Altman. Twice before tried for the Drake job, did not get it. Third time was the charm, and now he's back home in many ways. He's living with his brother right now, has family on his side, his wife's side, all within easy driving distance. And what an ovation here for the signature moment of the game. It's, I think, what will be remembered for this game more than anything. You wrote me that nugget during the course of the game, and I think you're spot on. The Cooper Cephas three-quarter court three.
And that's why you should shoot that shot. The pros don't shoot it a lot because they don't want to hurt their percentage, but when you got the ball, you got a chance to make a play. That was a big momentum shot. Always shoot that shot, kids. You can help your team.
I wonder, though, if Cephas was getting paid, he would take that shot. That's the wrinkle, right?
Yeah, but that's pretty selfish, right? I mean, you can help your team, and, you know, you missed that shot 999 times out of 1,000, but you got to shoot it because it could go in.
For Loyola, this goes down as its best scoring showing of the year. The previous high was 85. The opponent was Drake. They're on their feet here at Gentile Arena. Shot clock showing 0. Game clock.